He's a doctor, a political newcomer, and now he wants to be Ohio's next Secretary of State. Brian Hambly is entering the race with support from prominent Democrats and says his goal is to make democracy fairer and more accessible. He's running statewide as a first-time candidate in a red-leaning state. Dr. Hambly joins me now to talk more about his priorities and how he plans to win over Ohio voters. Dr. Hambly, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. It's a joy to be here.
Why did you decide to run for this office?
The Secretary of State's office is critical for ensuring politicians are responsive to their voters. There's three key jobs at the Secretary of State. One, drawing fair districts. Two, writing honest ballot language when you go to vote on a constitutional amendment. And number three, I believe the Secretary of State should make it easy and fair for every Ohio citizen to vote.
You have said that gerrymandering has directly impacted your patients and your community. Can you walk us through how that connects to the job of Secretary of State?
Absolutely. 2 years ago, I had a patient, young single mother from rural Ohio, goes to her local hospital with a nosebleed. Only be told she had leukemia. She had to come to Cincinnati 2 hours by ambulance, sirens blaring. When I walked into her room, this woman's afraid. And she's insured by a system called the Medicaid system that provides her insurance as well as insurance to hundreds of thousands of Ohioans. Unfortunately, in July, that same insurance system that funded the leukemia care for that patient has been defunded, where next year we'll see 500,000 Ohioans lose their health care through Medicaid. I believe that happens because politicians are drawing their own districts and they aren't responsive to voters.
As a physician with no political background, you're the second physician, by the way, with no political background running for statewide office behind gubernatorial candidate Dr. Amy Acton. How do you respond to critics who say this office requires a little more political expertise?
I think the expertise that we need is expertise in building teams, expertise in driving problem solving in real life environments. And I think Ohioans, when I've been traveling this state to more than 50 counties, doing more than 150 events, what Ohioans tell me over and over again is that we need new voices in state politics. And that's exactly the approach I plan to bring into the Secretary of State's office.
You've criticized Ohio's ballot language summaries. What would you have done differently as Secretary of State?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of Ohioans watching have this experience last year where they flipped their ballot over and they saw over half a page of very complicated legal language. What I want everybody to know is that was intentional. That was designed to confuse voters. That shouldn't be the place of ballot language. Our ballot language should be simple and written in plain English so everybody can understand what they're voting on.
You're going to face in this primary a well-known Democrat at the State House, Allison Russo. What makes your approach different from hers?
You know, I think democracy is at its best when it's a competition of ideas. And I look forward to a competition for the Democratic primary. Our approach is going to be straightforward. We're going to meet people where they are. We've been to more than 50 counties. We're going to get to all 88 counties this year. We've been doing house parties and town halls, listening as much as we're talking. We plan to bring this approach not just to the primary, but to the general election and prepare for a team that can actually win. As a Democrat in Ohio, we haven't been doing a lot of winning recently. That's what I plan to change.
Dr. Brian Hambly, Secretary of State candidate for the Democratic Party. Dr. Hambly, thank you again.
Thank you for the time.